Mwahahaha. Hello, I'm Mon McCool, professional hipster amateur reviewer. And no, this is not a review slash dedication video to that character from the Buffy the Vampire series. This is much less mainstream than that. Xander Harris, he's a musician from Austin, Texas, on that Not Fun label. Viewed an album a little while back from that label, a band called The Peaking Lights. Gotta say, I've been loving that album more and more as time goes on. And the thing about the bands on that label is that they have a great appreciation for the 1970s and 1980s. Not only the music that came out from those periods of time, but for the culture as well. This is the type of music that you're going to probably be buying, preferably on tape, opposed to anything else. I feel so 2007, still buying stuff on wax. Anyways, this is some like 80s slasher horror flick soundtrack music right here. And the great thing about Xander Harris is that you can tell that he has a great respect for those type of movies. And you know, 80s horror movie, they're usually known for being kind of like silly, especially cheesy, but that doesn't mean they can't still be fun and exciting. And that's what urban gothic is. You know, it's faithful, it's authentic, it's well executed, and it finds no reason to be overproduced whatsoever. And I really don't know what the best 1980s horror flick is of all time, but whatever it may be, I can definitely say that this soundtrack is, or this album is definitely worth the position of being that soundtrack. So as I keep saying, urban gothic is essentially a corny 80s horror movie music, electronic. So, you know, more times than not, you're probably going to be having a little smirk on your face while you listen to this music, even perhaps trying to groove to it as well. But the best moments on this album are the most unique. This song that's actually playing right now is one of my favorites. It's the most minimalistic one. It's a song that just feels so cold and beautiful. Make a little tear come down your eye. Kind of sounds like something that could come out of a UFO that was hovering low to the ground while it's speeding across land. I guess that's kind of an odd comparison, but I'll go with it. There's another, and that song is called Hatched in the Teeth. There's another song in this album called When the Hammer Starts Swinging. It's got these really pounding beats. It's really in your face. And it's got some really good samples that I can only assume that are from the 1980s horror flicks that Xander here probably appreciates so much and exemplifies through this music. What I've heard is cats with rabies, wind blowing softly underneath the beats. I also heard a man talking about dismembered body parts he found in an investigation. And that's another great thing about this album. I usually wouldn't talk about like song titles as being cool or adding to the album. They got some pretty good names for the song titles that fits really well with the album. Like a movie, it begins with this first song being called Opening Credits, and its final song is the closing credits. And both songs sound very appropriate for when they're put in. So I gotta say, if if you're gonna get your money's worth with listening to this album when you buy it, the best thing to do is make sure it's a dark, windy day, and preferably fall, with all the leaves off the trees and everything, to make it more spooky. Get yourself a bowl of popcorn, turn off the lights, and let the tunes play. This is a great album for the month of October. Highly recommended. And since we're on the theme of Halloween and horror movies and whatnot, I might as well show you something a little scary before I leave, so are you ready?